How's it going, everyone? It's me, Tangociss, back at you with another review. Today we are reviewing Vasilis. I hope I said that right. If you can't hear in the background, it's very windy where I'm living at the minute, so I certainly do hope that the power doesn't go out. I have to go to the shower afterwards, you see. So dedicated I am, bringing you up a review before I go to the shower. Anyway, as always, we're just gonna hop on right into things. The first positive is, well, as you can see on the screen, is the actual hand-drawn art style. Personally, since the entire game, you see, is basically like the whole hand-drawn art style. I thought it was pretty good. I quite liked it myself now. So yeah, top job for the hand-drawn art style for the game. The next main positive here is that the general creepiness in the later chapters starts off relatively normal enough, but then as you progress on through the game, you'll probably notice that things start to look and get a wee bit on the creepy side. I should probably add that the footage you're seeing is from the early chapters, chapter 1 of the game. This is mainly just to minimise spoilers, just in case you fancy trying this yourself down the line. Because, you know, I just don't like to spoil things for folk. So, that's the main positives out of the way. And now for the negatives. Now, I know that your character is an old woman, so I guess this might be more of a neutral area, but for me it was one of the negatives, and that's the very slow walking speed. A fair part of the game, you're going to be walking downtown a good heap, and it's just that, well, I know she's old, but I think it wouldn't hurt if they increased her walking speed at least 10% roughly. Just the same thing as I mentioned in my last review for Breeder Homegrown, just a wee increase in the walking speed would certainly help with things, I would say. The next negative, as you just saw not too long ago, is the map. For some reason it keeps zooming in and out and stuff without even much input, so it's a bit tricky to pinpoint your location whenever the thing keeps going in and out, or zooming in, zooming out again, and you know, it's just hard to keep track of things like where you are in the map, because the map itself of all the different areas and stuff, it can be a wee bit tricky to navigate until you've memorized most of it, but I just think it having the map not going crazy every time you want to look at it, it's, I think you see what I mean with the map. The next main negative is that it's a wee bit unclear what you actually have to do at parts. There is like a diary, as you just saw, which sort of tells you what to do, but it doesn't exactly say where or when you have to go to the places. But so for the most part, unless you're following a guide, you might need to like shenanigan around a wee bit and just fiddle around with everything to actually figure out where you need to go, who you actually have to talk to, what you have to pick up, what you have to give to someone, that sort of thing. You know what I'm saying? And now for the neutral areas. The only main neutral area is that, well, mind you, I do like the art style, but it tends to, I suppose, clash with everything else, especially whenever things tend to get a wee bit crowded. So if let me just get the footage up here, so as you can see, we're one of the areas where, as you can see, it is awfully crowded and stuff. So I just think it tends to clash with the art style, especially when you got a whole bunch of things moving around at once, I guess you could say, on the screen, but it's alright for the most part. It's just, it's a wee bit, I suppose it clashes with everything else, if that makes sense. Honestly, aside from that, it was solid enough to pass the evening. I got the platinum trophy just in about an hour, 2 hours, maybe an hour and a half. I kind of lost track, because I'm more so keeping an eye out wherever mostly, but for the most part, I certainly enjoyed the game. I think it's about £3 something on PlayStation Store, so whether you want to pick it up or not, I'd suggest you probably wait for a sale if you don't really want to spend £3, but I'll pass the evening for you, so I enjoyed it enough for what it is, so yeah, it's an alright game. Just maybe wait for a sale if you really want to, but for £3, well, I'd say you just go for it. Aside from that, that's essentially my review for Vasilis. Again, I hope I said that right, so just want to say thank you very much everyone for watching. This is Tangociss, and I'll catch you next time.